superpowers. They've captured our imaginations in comics, movies, and even real-life fantasies. But what if I told you some humans might actually have superhuman abilities? And no, we're not talking about flying or laser eyes. This is about real-life genetic traits and adaptations that make some people seem extraordinary. Humans are incredibly adaptable, and throughout history, certain individuals have exhibited traits that defy what seems biologically possible. Let's start with something you might already know about: extreme endurance athletes. For some, it's not just training, it's genetic. Take the Bajau people of Southeast Asia, for example. Nicknamed sea nomads, they can hold their breath underwater for up to 13 minutes. How? Scientists discovered they have larger spleens than average, which allows them to store more oxygen in their blood. It's like a built-in scuba tank, but they're not alone. In the Andes Mountains, people have evolved a different kind of oxygen superpower. Indigenous populations there have developed larger lung capacities and more efficient oxygen transport in their blood, allowing them to thrive at altitudes where most of us would get sick. These superpowers often come down to genetics, tiny tweaks in our DNA that can lead to big differences in abilities. One fascinating example is the ACTN3 gene, sometimes called the speed gene. This gene is found in elite sprinters and power athletes, giving them a natural edge in explosive movements. But it's not all about physical prowess. Some people have rare genetic mutations that make them resistant to diseases like HIV, thanks to the Delta 32 mutation in the CCR5 gene. And others can even consume traditionally toxic foods, like bitter cassava, due to unique genetic adaptations. And let's not forget tetrachromacy. This rare condition allows about 1 in 100 women to see millions of additional colors that the rest of us can't. It's like having a supercharged set of eyes. Then there are mental superpowers. Ever heard of Wim Hof, also known as the Iceman? He can endure freezing temperatures by consciously controlling his autonomic nervous system, a feat once thought impossible. While training plays a huge role, studies show that genetic predisposition might give him an edge. And speaking of mental feats, did you know some people have nearly perfect memories? This condition, called highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM, allows individuals to recall every detail of their lives, down to the smallest events from years ago. Imagine never forgetting a single day. Humans don't usually compare to animals when it comes to senses, but some individuals come close. For example, there's magnetoreception, the ability to detect magnetic fields. While common in birds, a few humans seem to possess this skill, giving them a kind of sixth sense for direction. And then there's the super sniffers. Some people have an enhanced sense of smell thanks to variations in their OR2J3 gene. These individuals can detect subtle scents that most of us would miss, almost like a human bloodhound. Super strength might sound like science fiction, but for some, it's real. People with mutations in the MSTN gene produce less myostatin, a protein that limits muscle growth. This allows them to naturally develop larger, stronger muscles without extra effort. And let's talk about endurance. The Sherpa people in Nepal are living proof of human adaptability. Their bodies are uniquely efficient at using oxygen, even at the extreme altitudes of Mount Everest. For them, scaling the world's tallest peak is just another day at the office. Superpowers aren't just about strength or endurance. Sometimes they're about unparalleled control and agility. Let's start with Alex Honnold, the world-famous free solo climber. Honnold scaled El Capitan, a 3,000-foot granite wall with no ropes or safety gear. His feat isn't just physical, it's mental. Scans of his brain reveal a surprisingly low activity in the amygdala, the part responsible for fear. This allows him to stay calm in situations that would terrify most of us. His ability to push the limits of both his mind and body makes him a real-life superhero. And speaking of precision, meet Isao Machii, the modern samurai. Machii holds multiple world records for his swordsmanship, including slicing a BB pellet in half as it flies toward him at over 200 miles per hour. His reflexes and hand-eye coordination are so sharp, scientists have studied him to better understand human reaction times. It's as if his nervous system operates on a completely different level, making him a living example of superhuman agility. Here's where things get complicated. As science uncovers the genetics behind these abilities, we're also exploring how to edit genes using technologies like CRISPR. Could we one day design superhumans? And if we can, should we? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Facts Over Feels for more myth-busting, science-backed videos. And let me know in the comments, what human superpower amazes you the most?